Hello and welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're new, thank you for returning if you've been here before. Remember that this is a general reading for the collective, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest behind. We are looking at the week of Monday, July 15th to Sunday, the 21st. And we start with our moon in Scorpio, and then we end the week with our moon in Aquarius. So we've got this fix to fix thing going on. We had this last time too. And you know, Scorpio, that's where we ended last time. They're you know, in these Sunday to Monday things, the moon being in each sign about 2.5 days. So we're going from the very deep, transformative, and fixed. Scorpio rules things like taxes, death, regeneration. And to Aquarius, the sign of the humanitarian, the far out, the future, new inventions, things like that. So during the week also, well actually at the end of the week on that Sunday, we have another full moon in Capricorn. So we've had 2 in this cycle. So, you know, we were in Cancer season, getting pretty close to moving into Leo. And the Capricorn, you know, it's the opposite. That's where the full moons fall, in the opposite of where the sun is, and the new moon. And so Capricorn, it's a very earthy sign, grounded, businesslike, practical, executive, definitely can put some energy into getting some things done. It's ruled by Saturn. So be mindful of that full moon coming up on our Sunday, at least here in the States. So on Monday, we have Mars conjunct Uranus. This can give us a very unique and original expression that's using it well, I think. It could also be rash and impulsive. You know, when you get Mars, it's energetic, and that's where the rash, you know, and the impulsive comes in, and the Uranus can do some out there impulsive things as well. So you want to also be mindful on that Monday of any kind of aggression coming from within the self or coming at you, watching out for aggressive people and energies. It's, you know, it's a pretty volatile energy potentially that day, so you might just keep that in mind. Then we skip to Thursday, the 18th, when we have the Sun sextile Uranus. So here we can expect the unexpected again, Uranus being involved. Our plans may suddenly change. And we also might see people from the past. I mean, it's not a harsh energy because it's a sextile, but, you know, it just can bring in unexpected things. So people from the past, or we might meet new and exciting people. As we move over to Saturday, the 20th, we now have Mars sextiling Neptune, and Mars moving in a little later that day to Gemini. So that Mars in Gemini will make our actions more intellectually driven. We're more curious, more mobile, more flexible because of that Mars being in that Gemini sign of the intellect and curiosity, and possibly short trips. Could put some good energy into that, into siblings as well. It could be a little argumentative because you got the Mars energy and the Gemini speech and mind thing going on, and it might be useful to have a lot of physical activity to help that, to settle that energy. And because of the Neptune part, that we could feel a little vague, a little dissatisfied, might be looking for new opportunities. And then finally we get to our Sunday, the 21st, and here we have Venus sextiling Jupiter, so a nice, very nice romantic kind of energy, a lot of potential good times in that regard. And Mercury, though, is squaring Uranus, and that's a little tougher energy. So we could, you know, say rash, unexpected, out there things. Might want to watch that. We also have the Sun trining Neptune, so that's putting really good energy into Neptune and that transcendent kind of energy, the great collective unconscious. And then we also have Mars trining Pluto. A lot going on, so it can be exciting events, unexpected shifts, unusual disruptions, stimulating encounters, romance favored, intensity and passion are enhanced, and so kind of a doozy of a day in terms of the aspects happening. So I forgot to mention at the beginning, I do that little astrological look at our week, and then I'll move to the cards, and then we'll end with a Tree Keeper's Oracle card for the day. So I'm using the Golden Tarot this week. And, you know, looking for the story of the week, we have some characters showing up. We have one royal card. We have a couple of majors, a couple of wands, and then a couple of wands that I think are very much portending new beginnings. So we start with the King of Coins. So this is a feminine, masculine, coins representing the earth element, where that's where the feminine comes in. The kings obviously represent masculine energies. This can be the greedy king. It can also be the very responsible, earthy, nurturing one as well. So just be looking for that, those energies on that Monday. And, you know, that's that day that we have Mars conjunct Uranus. So, you know, there could be a greed aspect that we need to look at collectively. It could be a more personal thing. It could be a wonderful energy inside yourself or from another person. Or again, kind of looking at the plutocracy and seeing how we might want to make some changes on that. And on Tuesday, we're switching elements and we're going to a masculine, which is the air, represented by swords. I mean, these tens of swords are almost always pretty gruesome looking pictures. Here you see the corpse with the 10 swords sticking out, and a dog sort of barking, you know, up above slightly. It just looks a bit ominous. But what it really means, and I think especially following that King of Coins, is we are ready for change. And this is the end of something. I'm dating myself a bit here, but if you know the film Thelma and Louise, this always reminds me of when they hold hands and drive off the cliff at the beginning, which I have always seen symbolically, that it's like, no, we cannot go back. There's only going forward. Now, of course, that doesn't mean death like it did in the film, but again, I see it as a symbolic death. But letting go of something, moving to a new place, some idea we've held. Then we switch gears again and start to move into a couple of majors. And our first one on Wednesday is the Empress. And this deck, it's a, you know, a Madonna-like figure. You've got the baby on the lap and the bunnies below, some little angels above, and you know, it is wonderful depiction of motherhood, but it's beyond just normal motherhood. It can mean that, of course, but it can also stand for Mother Nature, the great abundance that we have on the planet, creativity, giving, sharing, things like that as well, connection to nature. And you know, on the dark side, it can also be smothering, when mothering has gone too far. So we want to kind of watch for that energy. But I think it will be expressed positively. I really do. There's a lot of nurturing that's going on out there too, and we are in the sign of Cancer. Thursday, we get that second major, and this one is the Hermit. So you know, there's a nature connection here. The Hermit is very frequently depicted as standing outside and holding a lantern, being connected to some kind of animals, often in a cave-like situation. Here it looks like the forest. So it can represent a person outside of ourselves, a kind of collective energy as well of a wise older person. If it's the self, that need to go inward and to maybe take stock, to offer a problem up to our higher selves. I mean, I think this is a good depiction of that higher self energy within. Trying to sort of turn it over. It is a 9 card, and you know, to me, if you've watched it all, you know, 9s are very special. You add them to something and you get that same number. So it feels to me that that's a really good place to pause in the tarot series, especially in the majors, and take stock. What is it that is trying to speak to us, trying to guide us? That inner wisdom, that voice. All right, then when we get to Friday, so that was our Thursday, here's our Friday. We've switched back to minors, and here we are with the wands. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the cards, we have a couple of wands, and here's that first one, the 7. This one is often associated with courage. So, you know, it could be the kind of thing where, you know, we see some things maybe we want to address this week. We go through a process of letting them go. We look for the real abundance. We start to assess where we want to go next. And this can very much give us the courage to do that. It's a 7, it's associated with a Chariot, either gathering up the strength to move forward or already having that momentum to go somewhere else, to a new place with our plans, our desires, our energies. So bringing that courage, maybe just standing up for the self, that could very well be it too. The second one follows. It's the 8. I love this card. I love the 8 of Wands in all the decks. Used positively, it can be very passionate, romantic, a kind of court and spark sort of card. It can also be, once we've stood up for ourselves, then we share that energy, we project it consciously, hopefully, out into the world. What are our ideas, our ideals? What do we believe in, and what do we want to passionately share with others? Now, it's connected to the Strength card, and so, you know, it's one of our challenges to express in a way that is hopefully meaningful to others as well as the self. And last but not least, we get to our Sunday, the 21st, and we have the beautiful Ace of Cups. Here, you know, obviously an angelic figure and the Dove of Peace with a golden chalice. And this one is associated with love, and in particular self-love, the idea of the cup running over. Knowing because we have the chalice of our hearts full of love, brimming, we're allowing it to come in, we're allowing it to go out to share with others. That life is good, that we are connected to the source, that is our birthright. We're all here to experience that and to feel supported. I mean, sometimes we come in with barriers, and that's just part of the lesson of what we have chosen for our souls, so that we do know we've been invited here, we are loved here, even if we only feel it through the self and our higher guidance. So, quite an interesting week. Maybe some challenge for standing up for the self, letting go of some things, and expressing the self after we consult with our inner wisdom. All right, so we will finish up with an oracle card from the Tree Keeper's Oracle. And we got an 8 on this too, a 26. So I find that kind of interesting, and it fits thematically. We have the Keeper of Boundaries. Standing your ground is essential right now. The tree keepers knew that no is a necessary magic word. Use it often to free the bound, liberate the oppressed, and honor the sacred within yourself. Do not be swayed by achievement, approval, or the secondary satisfactions of pleasing others. Think of your truth as a seeker inside of you that deserves fierce protection. And again, that makes me think so much of the Hermit card that came up for our week, midweek, and then the 7 and 8 of Wands being right after that. Look at your truth, know your truth, and try to, express it, stand up for it. Once you have admitted the truth inside of you, it's time to embody it by speaking it and allow it to be protected by the ferocity of self-kindness. Speaking might be painting, writing a poem, cleaning your house, doing whatever it is that feels right for you. To thine own self be true, said the bard. Learning to hold our ground and protect our precious resources makes all our relationships more authentic, even if some of them die off in the process. And I feel like this is a big one for me, something I'm working on as a lifelong process. The secret irony hiding inside your willingness to say no is that it allows you your yes. Excuse me, let me read that again. The secret irony hiding inside your willingness to say no is that it allows your yes to be more resolute and more ecstatic. So, beloveds, I'm wishing you the best possible week. Let me know how things go. Really appreciate those comments when they come in. And please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. That would help me wonderfully. And reach out if I can help you with a reading or you have questions just in general. I'll see you again in 7 days.